I did a really interesting meeting many years ago at Sheffield University. Now, my son was at Sheffield University, and what he said was, I want you to do a question and answer session, myself and a couple of other people. And what we're going to do is we're going to sit you there in a student bar, and people are going to text in questions, and we're going to read them out, and you're going to answer them. Now, this was really interesting as an idea because, of course, what it meant was that I would not be answering questions that people weren't asking. I'd love to know the questions that you would like answering, not just the questions I think I would like to answer. For example, I was in a youth group as a leader, and somebody asked me, well, what about aliens? What about people from other planets? What about other life forms? Did Jesus die for them? Now, it's not the sort of question that would have immediately come to mind. But of course, we know about Jesus dealing with humanity. We don't know how God has dealt with the rest of the universe, if there is life out there. So there are questions that sometimes can catch us by surprise. What are your questions? They might be embarrassing ones. They might just be straightforward ones. They might be ones that you recognize other people are asking and you don't find an answer to very easily. They might be to do with evolution or scientific discovery. They might be to do with health. They might be to do with the fairness and justice in society. They might be to do with church history. Why did the church do that? Why did so-and-so do that? Was that Christian? Was that in the name of Christ? What about ethical questions? You know, why do Christians believe this? Why do Christians believe that? Why do some Christians believe this and some Christians believe that? And what about all those different denominations and different ways of worshipping? What's that about? And so on. It's really helpful, though, if you ask. It's so much more difficult when I don't know exactly what's going on out there. And of course, there are many issues when it comes to prayer, when it comes to bringing up your children, dealing with end-of-life care. You know, in the old days, we didn't have to think about issues of the relationship between who we are as individuals and things like dementia. And of course, we have so many more diagnoses of health. So that in the old days, you knew you just had to suffer and put up with whatever happened to you because everybody got sick. And there were far fewer remedies about that were effective. Now we know so much about illness, it can actually make us feel worse about ourselves because we know all the things that are wrong with us. So, what's on your mind? What's worrying you? What's stopping you from being more devoted to Christ? What questions are really important for you? Why not email me? trhdredditch@gmail.com. Or you could just text me on 07970 823 462. If you want to have a chat, I can Zoom, I can Skype, you know, WhatsApp. But I'd love to hear from you and to know what it is that you'd like me to be talking about. Because Jesus is the answer. And while I don't know and nobody knows in the way that Jesus knows, there are more answers out there than perhaps you think, more than you're ever going to get from the media. So let me know what's on your mind. What's on my mind is that I'd love to see us all coming closer to Christ together and forming a deeper Christian community. I'd love us all to be engaging more with Jesus. And if you've not done an Alpha course, there's one coming up. Look out for the publicity. If you've never done one before, sign up, because Alpha is there to answer your questions. And I'll have another message for you at the beginning of next week.